guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is day 4 in Ethany's hashtag 31 Days of Tarot, and the prompt for today is asking us what our top 5 tarot books were for 2020, and so that was pretty easy because I think all I had were 5 books. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I had some oracle books too, but it did ask for tarot books, so I will be sharing those. The first book that I want to share with you guys that I got in, I think I got it in 2020, I'm pretty sure. Well, if I didn't get these in 2020, then these are the ones that I used the most in 2020. And the first one is The Flight of the Feathered Serpent by Peter Ballin. And he is also the creator of the Shultun Tarot. And so the Shultun Tarot didn't really have a guidebook that came with it. The guidebook was separate, and this is actually the guidebook. And you notice it's like pretty worn and all beat up, and that's because I got it secondhand, because I'm all about secondhand books. You know, if I can get something that's a pretty good deal, like this was like a couple of dollars and that was it, and it was on Amazon, I was like, heck yeah, I don't care that like the pages are kind of semi-folded and that there's somebody else's writing in here. I don't care. Like, I'm just going to soak in the information anyway. But this one is really awesome. So the Shultun Tarot, if you don't know, is Mayan. It's the Mayan tarot. So I mean, technically the Maya didn't have like tarot, but it is it's a lot of their depictions and their culture, and you know, all the mythology and stuff all mixed in. And as many of you know, I teach a Mayan astrology course for my Leon Mystery School. And so, you know, if you want to go check that out, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. But like, I am all about that. So to be able to mesh something that I love with another thing that I love, like the tarot, is fantastic. So if you're looking to maybe gain another perspective on the tarot, this is really good. So I think that it's great even if you don't own the deck. You know, so I think this book stands on its own. So it has a unique way of talking about the major arcana and the minor arcana. It goes into some mythology that could be connected, you know, with each of the cards. And there's also some wonderful spreads in here too. I mean, it's a big book, you guys. It also talks about the astrological correlations. That would be Mayan astrology. You know, so maybe if you already have a background in, let's say, Eastern astrology or Western astrology, maybe this is something that you can add into it. And again, it just adds so much more color and flavor to your readings. You know, I personally like that. Like, that's why I like, you know, having so many different decks with so many different perspectives and so much, you know, added symbology and stuff like that. It just adds a richness. Like, my vocabulary just keeps rising, and it's awesome. So like here, it has a lot of information for each of the cards, and you can take this and add it into, like, let's say a different deck that you're using that's not necessarily the Shultun, and I think it just adds more to the reading, you know. You know, so there's a lot of good stuff in here. So there you go, The Flight of the Feathered Serpent by Peter Ballin. And I'll try to list these books down below as well. All right, book number 2 is Tarot and Oracle 365-Day Challenge for Busy Souls, and this is one that my friend Wasima had created, and actually she sent this to me for review. I was super excited, and in here actually she has a group, a Facebook group. She has a few of them, but one of her Facebook groups is Study the Tarot in 21 Days. And myself, my friend Steph, and a few other people, we've come in from time to time to collab with her and create, you know, little courses where people, you know, could study the tarot using a particular theme. So like, there was one time where we had like a cat theme, and she thought of me because, well, I'm kind of like the cat girl, you know. I got Wally, Loki, I'm Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, you know. And so we came up with a bunch of prompts, you know, just to help people dive a little more deeply into the tarot, really get acquainted with it. And even if you've been reading for years and years, it's just, again, you know, just adding that different perspective and helping people out. So some of the prompts that we came up with, some of them are in here. So I've seen almost all of these prompts before because, you know, I'm in that group. But I think this is fantastic. So you could go day by day, like there's, you know, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each day there's not really spreads. I guess you can create spreads, but it's more like, it could also be like journaling prompts, you know, and that you just kind of use your tarot or oracle with it. There's things that are more of a jumping off point, like what other question could you ask along with this, you know? So I think it's great for that. And then towards the back, there's things that you could scan, you know, and print out for yourself, like the decks that I used for this month, what worked, what didn't work, things like that. You know, maybe setting up something like this in your bullet journal for like what cards you pulled each day. And the table of contents is actually at the back because I think it's more, she wanted us to just dive right in, just like you don't even have to start at day 1, just go all over the book and just have yourself a good old time. So yes, if you're looking for something that is full of just a huge variety of prompts that you can mix your tarot and oracle cards or whatever cards you have, or if you just want to do some journaling, this is a great book. And not just because, you know, I know that I came up with some of the prompts. Okay, bias aside, it's a great book, and it's got that rose petal feel, which is nice. Okay, this one you guys will recognize because I don't know how many years in a row I've said how much I love this book and that I use it like anytime I need to do spreads during my live chat. It is Sasha Graham's 365 tarot spreads, and every time I bring this book up, like during my live chats or during the 31 days of tarot, which I don't know how many years we've been doing this now, you know, with Ethany, but I think I've done every single one of them. But I bring up this book all the time, and everybody's like, oh, that's kind of been on my wish list. And I'm always like, dude, if it's been waiting on your wish list and you can afford it, like, do it. It's so good. I don't normally go in order. So like for today's date, I probably wouldn't do today's date. I just kind of like flip through, and if something catches my eye, I do that spread. Although sometimes for my live chats, I do actually do the day. Like let's say for today, January 4th, ooh, it's the big purchase spread. So it gives you the card that's connected to this theme for this spread. Gives you a little bit about it. It gives you on this day, January 4th of whatever year, which I think is fun. I kind of like, you know, trivia, stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great book, you guys. If you've been hemming and hawing, waiting for somebody to say, hey, you should get this book, let me be that person. I shall enable you. You should get this book. Yeah, but I love this quite a bit. Hence why it's a top 5. Alrighty, the next book is called Beneath the Moon by Yoshi Yoshitani. And actually this comes from a tarot deck. So this is the guidebook to the tarot deck, also by Yoshi Yoshitani. And it goes into more, like it's folk stories, you know, mythology, you know, folk stories and things like that. And me, I love stories. Like, here we go. It's beautiful, full color, and it's basically what's on all 78 of the cards. So there wasn't really like a guidebook that really came with the deck. It was, I don't know, just kind of like your very simple, like here's the meanings of the cards, you know, things like that. But there's all these characters depicted in each of the cards that come from, you know, fairy tales and folklore and myths, and we're like, but what are the stories? Well, there was the guidebook that then came out and could just stand on its own. But again, if you are into, you know, stories, folklore, things like that, and you read the stories, then you're like, oh, wow, now I have some more that I could say. There's just more imagery. There's just more vocabulary surrounding this particular card, which again would just enhance your readings. So like here's another one. It's from Germany. It's a German fairy tale. By the way, here, sometimes it might say like China, but it's a German fairy tale. It just means that the story takes place in that particular country, but the origin of the fairy tale is like from this particular country. So I think it's great. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, if you just want to have a storybook, this is a great storybook. But if you want to actually have a good guidebook, you know, for whatever tarot deck you have, you know, maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be the one that this person created. But this is good. So yes, this is a great tarot book, but also storybook, and it's beautiful too. So, okay. The very last one, so, oh yeah, we're already on number 5 of my top 5 of 2020 tarot books, and that is the Tarot for Transformation by Andy Matzner. He had sent me this ginormous honking book. Oh, so booky, and it feels so nice. He sent this to me for review. I love it. I gave a great review on it, and it took me a long time to get to the review because I wanted to actually go through the book and work through the stuff and really get to know it before I give my honest reviews. Hence why I don't have a whole lot of book reviews, because I want to really feel things out before I'm like, okay, this is my opinion on the book. So this was one of the few book reviews that I've done on my channel because it just takes me a little while and I want to give something honest. But I love it. I loved it. I love it. I'm still working with it. So I keep going back from this from time to time, but it is full of visualizations and prompts and quotes. There's quotes everywhere, and I'm like a quote person. I love quotes. Like there's just so much. Oh, and some sections have more than others, you know, but it's, I mean, dude, look how thick this is. Seriously, you guys. Oh, and this is just working with the archetypes. This is just the major arcana. And it's this big. So if you would like to dive into your psychology, if you would like to dive into, you know, the connection, having the tarot being used as a, you know, a tool for self-help, you know, for psychology, for looking into the psyche and all that good stuff, this is for you. Okay, so like I said, I will try to link these all down below. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And hey, if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to kittenswaitsandtarot.com. Have a lot of different readings on there. And like I had mentioned earlier, my Leon Mystery School is there. Just go up in the toolbar, click on Leon Mystery School. You'll be able to see all of the teachers that teach within the school, what their backgrounds are, and what exactly they will be teaching. But they are 4-week-long courses with a certificate of completion at the very end. And you get one-on-one you know, live chat with the teacher each week, which is totally awesome. Like I said, I'm teaching Mayan astrology. But yeah, and don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. It's a free newsletter that I only hit your inbox on the 1st of every month. It's got like witchy stuff and arts and crafts and like channels I'm watching and tea that I'm drinking and stuff like that. So definitely check it out. And if you would like to throw a little love my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. All right, so I hope you guys dug this. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell for more videos just like this. I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.